everybody. My name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Geeky Puppet Show today for what? For what? Oh, the end of the Green Goblin. Oh, can it be? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But before we get into this fantastic issue of Spider-Man, let's go ahead and pull up the cap. To my side, you can see her. She's every woman in the world. To us, it is Maranya.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon if you watch this at a later date.
And right beside, you can see in the little circle right there, he's green, he's mean, he is Froggy.
He's our icon frog.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Bat Frog?
How's it going, Puppetine?
Well, you're gonna have to heighten up the voice a little bit for the Peter Parker, but it'll be okay. And below, who's somebody who sounds like he should have that voice? It is Eric Breen.
Excelsior.
There we go. There we go.
Our fabled narrator. And right next to him, you can see his replacement whenever he's not around. It is Graphic Man.
Greetings.
Yes. They both have that warm tone we know and love. And right below, you should all know him. If you don't, be sure to check him out. It is the Ash on Comics, my son for the evening.
Hey, Dad, how's it going?
It's going good, son. All right. Now, before we get into this book, I should go ahead and, well, turn off my camera so that doesn't interfere. I know. Where's Zach to help Froggy make fun of the fact that I'm going away?
I won't do that out loud.
We're the only puppet theater that hides the puppets.
That's right.
I'm an icon. Look at me.
Now, as we can see right here, I'm going to go ahead and let Eric take it away. Read us off the cover before we dig on in.
The Amazing Spiderman. Spidey saves the day. The end of the Green Goblin.
That's a really good read there, Eric.
Thanks.
Well, you just read that, so I'm not going to make you read it again.
If you missed our last ish because you were orbiting Earth on a spaceship, the only acceptable reason for a true Spidey-ophile copping out, all we need tell you is that Spidey has been captured and unmasked by the Green Goblin, only to learn that his ubiquitous enemy is none other than Norman Osborn, father of Peter's college classmate, Harry Osborn. And now, Tiger, you're on your own.
Take a look at my face, Parker. A good long look. It's the last face you'll ever see in this life.
Oh, dear God, no. I've got to stall time. Keep him talking while I strain against these steel alloy coils he tied me with. I should have known you would. Should have known it would be you, Osborn. Anyone who would have a son like Harry.
Ouch.
Harry? You know my son?
Conceived in fantasy and dedicated to the proposition that all Marvelites are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of comic book quality. So say we all. Stan Lee, writer. John Romita, penciler. Mickey DeMeo, inker. Sam Rosen, letterer.
Hard to have a classic book without Mr. Rosen as the letterer.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have mentioned Harry. Why did you remind me of him? I mustn't think of him. Do you hear? I must forget. Forget! He thinks I'm just a simple businessman. He must never know the truth. Never. And he won't. You'll never tell him. I won't let you. That's another reason why you must die, Parker. Only you know who the Green Goblin is, just as I know who Spider-Man really is.
Is this me or you? I can't
It's
tell.
you.
Okay, because the lines throw me off. But what he doesn't know is I'm just as worried about Aunt May learning my secret identity as he's about Harry learning his. Got to get out of this somehow. For her sake, the shock would be more than she could bear.
I can tell you're struggling to break those coils, Parker. How I enjoy watching your futile, tortured efforts.
That's it, mister. Stand there and gloat while I keep tugging at these blessed bonds.
I want to say side note though, where they have his eyes. It looks like his eyes are blind because there's no color to them. That's how they usually do Alicia's eyes.
He's blind with rage.
That's right. That's it.
I just wanted to make a side note of that.
But enough talk. Now I must find the most suitable manner for ending your interference forever.
Spidey, if you ever thought fast and talked faster, you gotta do it now. I think the coils are loosening. All that I need is time. Great work, Gobby. Now make a real celebrity out of your son, Harry. Not every fellow can have a murderer in the family.
I warned you, don't call me Gobby! Don't mention him.
Why not? What have I got to lose? You can only polish me off once. Or Polish. Osborn is obviously a psychopath. Gotta play on his emotions. Gotta keep him hitting where it hurts. Anyway, you're not fooling me. You don't give a hoot about Harry. He told me himself. He told me how you changed towards him in the past few years.
Lies! All lies! He doesn't understand. Nobody understands. Nobody really knows why I became the Green Goblin.
I was right. He's a real mental case. That Palpatine. My only chance is to keep him talking. I'm thinking, but I've got to be careful. One wrong word can make him violent. That is bye-bye Spidey. Big deal. Who cares why you became the Green Goblin? You probably lost an election bet or something. What does it even matter?
You fool! Now I'll take Eric Brain's job for the next 6 pages. I'll show you what it matters. I'll make you listen, and then you'll understand.
Good God, not to be saying eat hot death, Parker. Good, it's working.
I'll be at the bar.
I hope it's a long story. I've only managed to loosen a single finger so far. The way he tied me, I can't exert enough leverage.
Harry's mother passed away when he was just a baby. I had to bring him up alone. I tried my best.
Sure. They'll probably elect you the Father of the Year before the judge sends you away.
I was a good father. I was. I did my best to be a real pal to my son, but it wasn't easy. You'll have to have dinner alone tonight, son. I have to work late again.
That's okay, Dad. I understand.
Wow,
That is
even
a weird sign.
Well, even then he had a receding
Did you see
hairline.
the skill bus sign?
Yeah.
They connected the S's together, Braxton.
Don't make fun of my hair.
It's cornrows, Dad.
But
Nobody likes it.
even then he has the weird hairline.
It's hard enough being my dad's son. You got to pick on me.
That must be a flub by Marina.
It's just a slight one. You could see it just went over a little bit.
Yeah, a little flub.
After all, I had a business to take care of. Money was the most important thing of all. I had to get rich. I needed wealth, for that was the key to power. You'll have to work these problems out yourself, Harry. I've got to get back to the office now.
But you said you'd review my bio with me. I have an exam tomorrow.
You'll just have to do the best you can. But Harry didn't have anything to complain about. The more money I made, the more presents I bought him. I wanted everyone to see what a great father he had. Go on, son. Take it. I bought it for you as a surprise. It'll give you something to do while I'm out of town on business next month.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
I even took him to ball games when I had a chance. Nobody can say I wasn't a perfect father, do you hear? Nobody!
Dad, do you think maybe we could talk for a while?
Sure, Harry, sure. But watch the game now. We don't want to miss any of this.
But we never have a chance.
Later, kid, later!
He's sicker than I thought. He's living in a fantasy world of his own making. He's almost forgotten me. But his story has me hooked now. I still can't figure what made him become the Green Goblin. Why he got him a Brian Michael Bendis books for Harry. That's horrible.
How could I expect Harry to understand how hard I had to work in order to achieve success? I had to be ruthless in business. I allowed no one to stand in my way, not even my partner, a man named Professor Strom.
I forgot how that was.
Osborne, we're partners. You can't do this to me. I worked to build this business with you. Most of the inventions are mine. You can't turn against me like this. I only borrowed that money from our account. You know I didn't mean to steal it. If you call the police, I'll be ruined.
It's too late for that, Strom. I've already sent for them.
Remember Stony-Faced Strom from Spidey 37? Sure you do. Smiley.
Perhaps I was too hard on Strom, but it was his own fault for being careless, and it gave me complete control of my business.
You'll pay for this, Osborne. I won't be in jail forever, and when I get out, I'll have my revenge. I swear it.
I know how much you sacrificed. You always were too emotional, Strom. That little outburst of yours doesn't impress me a bit. Take him away, gentlemen. I'll be in court to prefer charges in the morning.
So that's why Strom tried to kill you with that robot of his. And that's why you resented Spider-Man's help. What a joke. Me trying to save the Green Goblin. Uh-oh. He's too quiet. Gotta get him talking again. I still don't get it, Osborne. You became wealthy, successful, you achieved your goal. So what made you turn to crime? What made you become the Green Goblin?
I've told you so much, I might as well tell you the rest. After all, my secret will die with you.
Not if I can help it, mister. There, that's another finger I managed to work loose. So what happened? Did you win a green costume for a rat in a wrap or something?
You're mocking me, are you? Well, it's all right. You may have your little joke. It's the last you'll ever enjoy. As for me, I still remember that fateful night when it happened. These notes of Strom's, which I found in his desk, contains some new strange-looking formulas. Since he's in prison now, I'll check them out. If they're worth anything, I'll be able to cash in on them. Maybe hire someone to speak to me, so I don't have to talk to myself. And then Harry came in. But I couldn't be bothered with him at a time like that.
Dad, have you forgotten? It's parents' night at my school this evening. We should be there by now.
Forget it, son. I can't make it now. Go on ahead. Maybe I'll get there before it's over.
But I thought...
I said forget it! It's a good thing I didn't go, because if I had, I might never have become the Green Goblin. The solution is turning green. But why? What does it mean? Instead, I stayed and worked through the night, hour after hour, until just before dawn. It's beginning to bubble, to froth, and that sound, it's steaming. And then, a second later, the world exploded before me. Woo!
Boom!
I was in a hospital for weeks, as the best surgeons in the state worked night and day to save my life because I had money.
The damage is deep within his brain, but there's no way we can reach it.
At least we saved his life. His recovery should be rapid now.
The fools. They thought my brain had been damaged. They didn't suspect that the accident made me more brilliant than I had ever been. No one suspected, not even my son.
You may see your father now.
Poor Dad. It's all my fault. He must have been overworked, tired, trying to earn enough money to support me.
But I had no patience with Harry or with anybody. I wanted to be alone, to think, to plan. So a few days later, go downstairs and call a taxi. I'm getting out of here. Get that hangdog look off your face. It bothers me. How did someone like me ever have a sniveling weakling of a son like you?
Dad, what's wrong? Why are you angry with me? What have I done?
You haven't done anything. That's the trouble. You're a spineless jellyfish, like everyone else. Now, be quiet. I've got to concentrate. Although nobody knew it, my accident had made me think clearer than ever before. Suddenly a daring plan took shape in my mind. I'm stronger, faster, tougher than anyone else, and I have all sorts of scientific devices in my chemical company that I can use. I could become the greatest costume criminal of all time. The idea became an obsession with me. It haunted me night and day. I knew I had to do it. And so many months later, the face is perfect. Now to design the rest of the costume. I'll make it my favorite color, green. And so at last, the Green Goblin was born. Now for my first victim, the Amazing Spiderman himself. I selected you because I knew the underworld would respect anyone who could defeat you. But you thwarted me during our first encounter.
I'm awfully sorry to have been so uncooperative. Still nowhere with these coils. How much longer can I keep him talking?
How much longer can Stan keep writing?
How much longer can Palpatine last? Reading by himself?
It hurts.
Don't worry, he can talk for a long time.
Oh.
He's like Ash like that.
Burn!
All around. But now the time has come for the Green Goblin to achieve his greatest triumph. I've waited months for this supreme moment, for this victory which fate could never deny me.
Can't give up now. I mustn't. Not for the sake of Aunt May. But the steel ally, it's too strong. I still can't snap it.
How fitting it is that the face of the Green Goblin shall be the last sight you'll ever behold in this lifetime.
He was just as greedy, ruthless as men before his accident, but the chemical changed him for the worse.
But I mustn't let the end be too easy for you.
Now what'll I do? How do you reason with a madman?
First, you must sit there helplessly and wonder how I shall strike, and at that precise instant you'll perish.
They say a man's entire life flashes before him in a moment of deadly crisis. And so it is with Peter Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Narrator. I haven't heard you all this whole issue.
I'm drunk.
I'm not afraid to die. I've faced the Grim Reaper too many times in the past, but never to see the Brady Brand again. Never to be able to explain to Aunt May.
Beg, Parker! Plead for mercy. Why won't you beg?
Because I don't work at a grocery store.
But even as the anguished youth desperately continues to strain against his bonds, trying to shut out the goblin's taunts, at a modest frame house in Forest Hills, we find...
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, Anna dear, I'm so glad you could come. I'm so worried.
Dinner's ready and I can't just get it out of the oven.
Exactly. Actually, that's what it is. Now, May. You know the doctor told you that you mustn't get upset. I'm sure it can't be anything serious. But Peter has never stayed awake so long without even calling. And it's meatloaf night.
Meatloaf life? I can break free now.
He's always been such a good boy, but he's so frail. I know something must have happened. I just know it. May Parker, I'm surprised at you. You get hold of yourself this very minute. What would Peter say if he saw you like this? He's probably out on a date, having a good time, and he doesn't realize how late it is. Even my Mary Jane has come home late occasionally.
Yeah, floozy.
But I just can't help worrying. Wait a minute. Doesn't he sometimes sell photographs to Mr. Jameson at the Daily Bugle? Perhaps he's at Jameson's office right now. Newspaper buildings stay open all night. Please, Anna, you call. I'm too nervous. Of course, dear. I'll do it right now.
Make sure you call collect.
But after finally getting past an overworked secretary...
No! Parker isn't here! What am I supposed to be, a lost and found department? He should be out there getting me pictures of Spider-Man! But he's probably stealing hubcaps somewhere. Empty-headed teenagers, they're all alike! Miss Brown, come in here with your notebook. I want to dictate an editorial about how the younger generation's going to the dogs. Then I'll do one about the older generation too. Might as well blast everyone. Slam.
And after Mrs. Watson has given May Parker the news as gently as possible...
You mustn't worry, dear. There are so many other places he might be. Anna, you don't know Peter the way I do. He's the most considerate boy in the world. He'd never stay out late without calling me, unless something's happened. He might be in trouble somewhere. He might need me. If only I knew. Oh, Peter.
Shut up, Aunt May. I don't need you at all.
I'm going out for a moment, May. I'll be right back here. You just right there, dear, and try not to worry. She's getting overwrought. She needs a sedative. I've got to call Dr. Bromwell.
Shoot her with a trank gun.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, at a railroad station in the Midwest, another female who has played an important role in the life of Peter Parker pauses between trains.
I must return to New York. I realize now that a girl can never run from a decision, no matter how painful it may be.
This is Art Roberts at station WLS in Chicago Wondering why nothing has been heard of Spider-Man these past few days. We ask all kinds of questions.
Yes. Spider-Man, the masked adventurer whom Peter admires. How I hate the very sound of his name. He represents everything I dread: danger, uncertainty, and fear.
Miss Brown, Miss Brown, I'm disappointed I taught you how to scream Spider-Man.
But why dwell on Spider-Man when I have a far bigger problem? If I return to the Daily Bugle, will Mr. Jameson give me my old job back? And if he does, what will it be like seeing Peter Parker and Ned Leeds again? And what will they say when they see me? Will there still be a place in their lives for Betty Brant?
We found a box of Twinkies. We're happy now.
Thus, the sad-eyed girl walks through the station, immersed in her own troubled thoughts. StreamYard strangely unable to erase the haunting image of a costumed figure. A figure who seems to somehow overshadow all else as he silently swings from memory to memory.
He's more manly than all of them put together.
Yeah. Why? Why does the vision of Spider-Man keep reappearing in my brain?
I've never been more proud in my life.
She's got SDS.
When I think of all the times I've seen Spider-Man, spoken to him, and yet he's an enigma. He can be anybody, even someone whom I know. Yes, he is. But I hope and pray that he isn't. I couldn't stand it if he were someone close to me, someone whom I love. Mm-hmm.
She accepted he's a menace.
Brother.
It's Ned Leeds. Choose Peter.
All aboard!
Perhaps when I return to New York and see Peter again, I'll be able to forget about Spider-Man forever.
Just how it should be.
As you have probably guessed by now, the pages you've just read are a typical Marvel device for bringing new readers up to date as painlessly as possible. We just didn't want you to think you'd picked up a romance book by mistake. But now, face front, it'll be web spinning time before you know it.
So, you think you can rob me of my satisfaction by sitting there with your eyes closed? Well, it won't work.
Oh, wait. I'm awake. That's it, Goblin. Rant and rave at me. Say anything. Just as long as you keep talking. If only I can keep goading him. You're a washout, man. I beat you every time we fought before, and I'll find a way to beat you again.
No! You lie! Do you hear? You lie! You will never beat me, and I'll prove it to you. I can project mental pictures of our previous battles by means of this retroscope helmet.
Wow.
I'll show you that you never beat me. I was always your master, Spider-Man, always.
Sure. Anything to give me more time.
There! I'm sure you remember those three.
The Enforcers! Golly! It was the first time we fought. He used to help you. You're using to help you. Click. Oh, sorry.
Spidey, number 14. Natch. Stan.
You got, but how does this prove anything? I was able to lick them all. There. You can see it.
What a tongue.
But you didn't beat me. That battle taught me a lesson. It taught me that no one can do my fighting for me. No one is as great as the Green Goblin.
That's so? Just cut these steel coils from my wrist and I'll be the Goblin's last gobble.
Never! You had your chance and you muffed it.
Phrasing.
Then the next time we fought, you were saved by the sudden appearance of the Human Torch. But I had no desire to fight him. It was you who were my enemy.
Spidey, number 17. As if you didn't know. Yes.
To be fair, you're in New York full of superheroes.
Therefore, I fled, allowing you to escape me. But you didn't beat me. Instead, you were simply saved by the Human Torch.
That's your version, Goblin. From where I sat, you ran like a scared rabbit.
You'll pay for that remark, Parker. But, once again, I made the mistake of allying myself with others. So it was that lucky Lobo and his gang that were more of a hindrance than a help when next we met.
If you don't believe us, check back to Spidey number 23. We kid you not.
Not only did you fail to stop me, but you were lucky I let you escape with your life. Pity, Spider-Man, that you will not have that same luck this time. The Parker luck. And now the final remembrance. Before you meet your end. During our most recent battle, I had you completely beaten. Even you cannot deny that. But once again, you were saved by a stroke of fate in the guise of the Crime Master. What a name.
All together now, class.
Spidey number 27.
Scholarly Stan.
Thinking he was a match for the Green Goblin, the masked fool dared to attack me, once again giving you the chance to escape. You never were any good as a fighter, Spider-Man. You were merely lucky. But as I flew off to safety on that fateful day, allowing you a few months more of life, I knew I would again return when you least expected me to finish the task I had set for myself, namely the complete and undeniable destruction of the Amazing Spiderman!
It worked. I kept it clinging off this free one hand. Now it'll just be a matter of seconds to rip the other coils away.
So, you're still struggling with your bonds, are you? I can tell by the way your muscles are tensed beneath your shirt. Well, I'll make it easy for you, since you're already doomed. It would have been an empty victory to defeat a foe who is helplessly shackled. Therefore, I set you free. I'll prove I'm your master. Your final thought before the end comes will be that I gave you every chance, and still I defeated you, utterly and eternally.
You fast-talking phony. You knew I was about to break loose anyway. That's why the grandstand play. Okay, Parker, this may be the most faithful fight of your life, so don't fumble the ball, fella. There's too much at stake.
Don't just stand there, you sniveling teenaged washout. Put on your costume, do you hear me? I want to defeat you as I've always fought you, as Spider-Man!
He really thinks he can beat me? He knows we're gonna fight on his home grounds, with all the odds in his favor. Or so he thinks. Alright, Goblin. You're gonna get your wish. You'll battle Spider-Man, alright? And this time, there'll be no doubt as to who's the winner. This is the payoff. You're grinning gargoyle. This is real. This is for real.
But then, before the youthful adventurer can make another move, he's hurled back off his feet by the staggering impact of two rapidly tossed stun bombs.
Luck is back.
Should have known. He won't make it hand-to-hand if he can help it. Damn puppet.
It certainly is for real. Just as these little goblin goodies are for real. And this is only the beginning. Those were just warm-up stunners to get you right in the mood.
I don't consent.
This is the one that counts. This is my special anti-Spiderman explosive.
Nice try, Gabby, but I'm not exactly the helpless type myself.
Whip. That accursed webbing of yours! How can you form it so fast?
It's the artist.
Fast? Why, shucks! I'm just playing it cool. You should see how speedy I am against a really dangerous enemy.
Ling. You fool! Hurtling back won't help you. I can't be beaten by my own weapons. It's in the name. Anti-Spiderman. It's right there. Have you so soon forgotten the peerless powers which the Green Goblin possesses? Look who.
Sure is windy in here. It's so loud. It sure is. I just forgotten what a full-time economy-sized cornball you really are.
So, the condemned man held on to his slender facade of waning courage till the very end, eh? My compliments, Spider-Man. Too bad your power's not equal to your courage.
He's just hopping on his jet-powered goblin glider. That would be more trickier. He'll more maneuverable than ever.
Let me caution you against trying to sneak up behind me. Whoosh. Unless you enjoy the full brunt of a rocket blast.
He's toying with me. He feels so confident that he's warning me in advance. I've never been faced with a problem like this before. Even defeating him won't help me. For as long as he lives, he knows my secret identity. And if M.A. ever learns of it, I lose, even though I may have won.
Ha! You're groggy, confused, as I knew you would be. So now I finish you off and... what?
Thanks, Gabby. I hoped you'd come in within reach if I acted helpless enough.
My famous flying broomstick. It crashed to the wall. It's shattered. It was my greatest weapon, and now you've destroyed it.
Ah, cut it out, Gabby. Unless you want to see a grown man cry. Is this it? I never thought I could beat him so quickly. Yet, what do I do now? He still knows my secret, and I'm not a murderer. I'm standing as a looper here, that's gonna be a problem.
But then, moving with the deadly speed of a striking boa, the seemingly defeated goblin seizes one of his fallen live wires in an insulated glove and...
Flip.
I think it's your first line.
Oh, I think no, it's you first.
Oh, I was right top right. Okay. Blast it! No, I'm the one who's fooled. He was just playing possum.
Now, isn't this a shocking development? I've used your thwip against you.
Of all the worst dad jokes, he had to use that one. All those volts of current would have finished me, an ordinary man. Yeesh! He's throwing everything at me but the kitchen sink. And if he could ever fit that in his nutty bag of tricks, he would.
Sick, sought, and fatap. The climbing to the ceiling won't save you. The goblin has ways of bringing you down.
But it's so nice and cozy up here. However, if you're lonesome down there, I'll calm down and keep you company. Though just between us, you're a real party poop.
That's it, just a little closer. And now, my most potent goblin blast will make you wish that you... What? That chair! It had been bolted to the floor!
Now you tell me. Hope your decorator won't mind me changing the room's decor, but fellow gets tired of being used as an unpaid target after a while. Hope you won't mind moving. A shindig like this can make them break your lease.
Never mind being an unpaid target for Jameson. Jeez.
Yeah, but he's better looking. From a distance.
You imbecilic teenager. You're too stupid to know when you're beaten. I should have finished you off before, when I had the chance. If only you hadn't kept me talking so long.
Kept you? Nobody could have stopped you. It was like someone just pulled out the plug.
But I've learned my lesson. I'll never take chances with you again.
Uh-oh. He's digging into his bag of tricks. I can't stop him in time. Battery-powered bats swirling around my head, fluttering across my eyes. Can't see. Have to brush them away.
Get him, my pretties, my little flying pets. I see you finally hurled them away from you. Just in time for you to bear the full brunt of my fully automated goblin cannon. Even your accursed strength can't save you from its lethal blast ray.
Is that so? I'm all choked up.
You've chosen the wrong adjective, Spider-Man. Washed up would have been more to the point.
Perhaps my strength can't save me now, Galby, but I've got another ace in the hole. Don't tell me you never heard of my swinging spider speed. It's so sublime, I'm surprised that no one's written a sonnet about it.
Whoa.
Ash, you're echoing bad. You have too many weapons, too many surprises at your disposal. I can't afford to give you another breather. This is just a wrap-up, Goblin. One way or another. He lost his footing. He's falling back, knocking those live wires into the vials of chemicals. Can't grab him in time. He's getting the full effect of the electrochemical charge. It's over, but he isn't moving. Is he trying another trick? No, can't be. I saw what happened. Nobody can fake something like that. There's only one thing I have to find out. Is he still alive? I feel a pulse. He's still breathing. Thank heaven. I didn't kill him. But is it the one result I feared? I've conclusively defeated him. Yet, how can I prevent him from betraying my secret after I've turned him over to the police? He's starting to speak. He's mumbling a name.
Harry, my son, Harry. You're not my boy. Where's Harry? Who are you?
He doesn't recognize me. His memory's gone. Or is it? It's not hard to fake amnesia. The Goblin is capable of anything. And yet... he couldn't fool my spider sense. It would tingle if I were still in any danger. But I don't feel a thing. He doesn't really know me. He doesn't even remember our fights. The sudden savage impact of his shock has actually affected his mind. This means there's still hope for me, and perhaps for him.
Why am I wearing this strange costume? Where am I? I must see my son. I have to help him with his bio.
It's incredible. He thinks Harry's still in high school. His memory of the last few years is completely gone. He has no knowledge of being the Green Goblin.
Anyone in there? Open up. The place is smoking. We're going to break down the door.
The firebrand, I've only got seconds to act. Perhaps I have no right to be judge and jury, but why should he be punished for something that happened while he wasn't really himself? Something he can't even remember now. And there's Harry to think of. It would break his heart. I can just change his clothes fast enough.
Stand aside, I'll shoot the lock off. It'll be faster.
Frack.
Whew. Good old spider speed. Lucky I was able to find one of his suits in the closet. Just made it. Uh-oh. His goblin costume. What do I do with that?
That does it. Now put your shoulders to it, boys.
Fire! It's the only way. The smoke is so thick the fabric will be burned to a cinder before anyone can see it. And so ends the sordid career of the Green Goblin forever. Stay back! Everything's all right. I'm bringing him out. There's no more danger. Hands up, don't shoot.
It's Spider-Man. He's holding on to someone, bringing him towards us.
Whoever thought that masked wall crawler would turn out to be a hero?
Hero, my foot. How do we know what he's really up to? He may have caused the fire.
For all we know, he just caught him in the act.
Oh, hold it. Hold it, Jew. Get back here. You got some explaining to do.
Why don't you use your gun? You could shoot him down.
On what grounds? I'm not a stormtrooper, pal.
His name's Norman Osborn. Get him to a doctor, fast. He's a hero. He helped me finish off the Green Goblin.
And even if you were a stormtrooper, you'd never hit him.
Oh, boy.
But where's the goblin? What happened? How do you figure on all this? Wait!
Can't stop to explain now, but I promise you one thing. The Green Goblin will never trouble you again. As for me, I can't waste another second. I've got to get back to MA.
Seconds later.
Oh no, that's what I feared. That's Dr. Brownwell's car at this door. But I gotta be careful. I can't let anyone see me like this. I gotta change. I've gotta get to my room through my back window and change up there. Poor May. If anything happens, I'll never forgive myself. Or the Marvel writers. It will be because of me. It's because of me. Take two. It will be because she was worried about me. Why must I hurt everything I touch? Uncle Ben, Betty, Bran, and now Aunt May. Betty's female intuition must have made her leave me. She must have felt like I bring nothing but heartache to those I love. The Amazing Spider-Man, able to climb walls, to fight, to run, to think better, and faster than any dozen ordinary men. Even those who hate me envy my powers. My powers. What a joke. Sometimes think that the curse, that I've proven to be nothing but a curse. I trade places with almost any normal, everyday man. At least Aunt May wouldn't have to suffer my secret. Dr. Brownwell! My aunt! Is she?
Quiet, son. She finally fell asleep. I've placed her under mild sedation. It wasn't easy to get her to shut her eyes. She was very concerned about you, Peter.
I was afraid of that, Doctor.
You were? Well, then why did you stay out so late without calling? I warned you that she must be spared from any serious worry or shock. I never thought that you'd be so unfeeling, so wrapped up only in yourself. Luckily, I reached her in time to prevent any serious ill effects. But if it happens again, it may be too late.
It won't happen again, Doctor.
I hope not, my boy, for the sake of both of you.
After the door closes quietly behind him, a brooding Peter Parker maintains silent vigil through the long, lonely, seemingless, endless hours until...
Peter, is that you?
Aunt May, you're awake. You're all right.
Of course I am, dear. Now that you're here. But it was so late and you hadn't called. I didn't know what to think. The city streets can be so cruel, so dangerous.
She's okay. That's all that matters. She's okay.
Where were you, Peter?
Bugs me to lie, but how could I tell her I was fighting for my life against a deadly madman in a burning building? It's all my fault, M.A. I was studying with one of my classmates, and we just forgot how late it was getting.
You poor dear. I know how much your scholarship means to you, and how you want to remain at the head of the dean's list. But you simply mustn't spend so much time studying. You need some fresh air, some exercise. In fact, look how flushed your face is now. I do declare, you have a fever.
Aunt May, this is ridiculous. I feel fine. It's I who should be looking after you.
Nonsense, Peter. You know how fragile you are. This warm broth and a good night's sleep will do you a word of good. Just knowing that you're home safe again has made me feel like a new woman.
My head was warm because I was near the flame for so long, but my best bet is to let her minister to me. It's good therapy for her. Weird saying. Yeah.
And in an expensive hospital room on the fashionable east side of Manhattan, a father and son seem to find each other again, as though after an absence of many long, now forgotten years.
Don't worry, Dad. Everything will be all right. We're together again.
I can't remember what happened, son. These past few years seem to be forever buried, forever lost to me. But the future lies ahead, and it will be a good one. For the both of us. Somehow, I know that.
Next issue, don't miss Peter Parker's startling decision, plus an all-new fantastically powerful super foe for Spidey! Enough said.
And that is the end of another grand issue.
And someone was reading it live.
Yes, that's right. He had it right there. He didn't have to look at the screen for it. He could see it
Yes,
himself.
I was all set for the first one, and I read my lines perfectly, and the microphone was off. So,
Oh,
well.
well, it worked out just fine.
Yeah.
But now we are here at the end. It has been a good reading thus far. I certainly enjoyed it, though my throat hates me now.
Because of Spider-Man?
No, actually. Figuring out what voice I did last week for the Green Goblin.
Ah, there you go.
It was a little all over the place, but I think it went over quite well.
It worked.
But that is the end, my friends. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the ticker because Froggy is telepathically screaming at me in my mind. If you
Mine
think
too.
if you think I can yell Spider-Man, you should hear what he yells in our heads.
It's like Black Bolt.
He keeps yelling about a certain place to eat. I just can't remember the name of it, though.
Denny's.
Yeah, Denny's.
Denny's? Oh,
Denny's.
okay. Well, we want to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out everybody here, Ashron Comics, Mr. Graphic Man, and Eric Breen is usually over there on Wednesdays. Be sure to check that out. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching afterwards. You going to say something?
What?
I saw there was a little jump around your bubble. I didn't know if you were
Oh, no,
trying to
I was probably falling asleep
Uh-oh.
because I had so many lines.
I know.
Well, that's more of a Florida thing. We're talking about comic books.
Anyway, with that being said, it's really just one more thank you to everybody who was watching along live and to all the people watching after. So for the entire cast and crew here on the Geeky Puppet Show, one thank you to them. Before we say bye!
Bye.
Goodbye, kids.
Yep, that's all,
Hey,
folks.
you took my line.
Shut it, caveman.
Oh, make sure to remember, you get a big delight in every bite of Hostess